So, do we cross swords now or later? Yo, oh man,
Back at it again with
episode
the white
two.
vans.
Oh, it feels so good, dude. It feels so good to be back in the fucking studio. So two books this month
I've also finished two
already.
books this month. Yeah.
Hell yeah! What have you read?
So I have been blasting this. I just finished it today. It's Academy of Outcasts is the series. The first one,
Yeah,
this book two was Magic and Bullets by Larry Cornet. I believe that's how it's pronounced. The last name of it. It's an Athon book. It's progression fantasy. It's about. It kind of has. It's not really Red Rising vibes, but it kind of has that same like caste system, if that makes sense.
yeah.
It starts off they're miners, um, and the world is
Whoa.
yeah the world is like so there's different universes and there's like a door that you can kind of go into other realms, I guess would be the better way of saying it, than universes. And he's in a slave caste basically. It's indentured servitude, but they're all like his whole family is servitude on a bar, like on these boats, they're barges, and they have to mine this red dust that's like has magical properties, and pirates are trying to steal it and stuff like that all the time.
Just
But he
like
really
Dune,
no, not really.
like Spice from Dune, not like Dune itself, but
Kind of,
like
kind of, yeah. It'd be good correlation. And he wants to be a wizard, and there's like wizard academies. There's these schools that you can learn magic in, but they're really prestigious and hard to get into. And he's basically a slave, so he kind of runs off and tries to do his own thing. And that's kind of the gist of this of the books, without like giving like too much spoilery shit away. But they're really fun. I really enjoyed them. It's for me. The only thing that sucks is there's only two books in the series so far, and it's what the eighth day of the month, and I've already finished both of them. So like
damn. So that's what you read this, like you read first and second this month.
this month, yeah, and that's
Damn.
counting like I didn't read at all for like the Fourth of July and all that shit. Like I was like doing like family stuff. So
Damn,
yeah.
dude, you fucking push some shit out.
But what sucks now though for me is for the rest of the month is going to be kind of hard because some like changes at work. So it's going to be. I'm hoping I'll be happy if I can get. This is going to sound crazy because it's only the eighth day of the month. If I can get two more books in the rest of the month, I'll be pretty happy. Just because of work and shit, so it'd be a little harder. I'd be a little tired from coming home from work and stuff. But
Yeah, I feel that. And then we've also got this fucking podcast. Gotta
yeah,
fucking take time out of our day to do this. Ugh, awful.
yeah, I'm sacrificing for you guys, so
Yeah, to be
you better
honest,
you should like
viewers,
this a little bit
you
more.
better fucking, you better be grateful. Um,
How has your month been though? Like, how's
dude,
what have you been into?
it's been it's been fun. I started out because I always just like I just keep the copies around. Started out with Angel Down by Daniel Kraus. Dude, so I went and got this the other day. I went to Barnes and Noble. I got a couple of books. I just kind of like, I don't know what it was. I got a wild hair up my ass and was just like, dude, I'm gonna go buy some fucking new books, full price. And I went and just got quite a few books from Barnes and Noble. I also picked up two books from a local shop around where I work, and I think I got like a good six or seven books. And like again, we talked about it last time. This whole fucking shelf is my TBR practically.
Yeah, you got like a
Um,
problem when it
yeah,
comes to like your TBR because that's a
dude,
lot.
I have a lot to read. To be fair, most of the top two shelves I have read all the way across. So it's really just the last three shelves of each shelf that I need to read. But I picked this up because my buddy Aaron saw this in the local shop that we were at, which is M. Judson. Anybody in the Greenville area, check them out. They're great. But he saw it and he was like, "Oh, I've heard this is really good." And I looked at it and it's like a Pulitzer Prize winning book. And it's supposed to be this World War I historical fiction kind of horror story. And, you know, we talked about it last time. I've been genre hopping. So I figured I'd pick this up. I went to check out and the lady was so stoked and she was like, "Oh my god, this is so good." And the book that was on top was The Once and Future King by T.H. White, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah, King Arthur, this is definitely good. Like this for sure. Thank you. I feel validated in my choice. And she said, no, this book. And she picked up this one. She was like, that one's good too, I'm sure. But this, I just read it. And it was so good. And I was like, oh, well, thanks. And she said, I was on the fence because of it just being one sentence. And I was like, excuse me, what the fuck did you just say? And I know for a fact that the look on my face was like, I should put this book back, because she was like, no, don't worry, it's really good, I promise you. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about a one sentence book. And I'm telling you right now, dude, it's literally one long sentence. Like, there is no punctuation. This is just like separating paragraphs.
Okay,
it's one long sentence.
For a second, I was like, if it's the same sentence over and over again, put that bitch back.
Dude,
that's what you meant. Just in the beginning, there was one. Like, in the beginning, dude, I'm like, this is so stupid. One.
And every time you read it, you're like, wait, it's hidden different. But no, it's just one long sentence, and is how it goes. Like, it's like each paragraph is and, so it just continues on.
Man, he had to save a fortune,
brother.
I'm getting this thing edited, because he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna
like, fuck it, dude. I know that, like, there are some authors who don't do like punctuation marks, or who don't do like quotation marks for words and shit. It was a difficult thing to get into. The narrator is what saved this book for me, because the book is incredible. I will say that the book is so good. It's basically about this story about 5 soldiers who have to go into no man's land to essentially fucking finish off one of their comrades. Their superiors like, you guys fucking suck, go into no man's land, you hear that person screaming, get rid of them. So they go, and it's I think his last name's Bagger. Yeah, Cyril Bagger is the main character. And he and this younger kid go, and they realize that it is an angel who has fallen to the battlefield. And dude, it's so fucking good.
Did you say an angel?
An angel, like an angel, so, like angel.
So Gabriel is out there like rolling around on the fucking battlefield.
So the fun thing, and I don't want to give away a like huge spoiler here, but the angel presents herself in different ways to everyone who looks at her. So to Cyril Bagger, she looks like just this like beautiful woman, and then to other characters, she looks different, but it is an angel. And they have to help her, and she can't walk. They have to like carry her. And so you would think that in the middle of war, people are trying to do their best and do the right thing. And this is just a story of this guy figuring out what the right thing to do is, while everyone else around him chooses to do horrible shit, self-serving things. With this angel, and it gets weird, and it gets brutal, and it like is very difficult to read at times. But I was talking to my manager at work, and she was an English major, which, you know, goes to show you what happens when you major in English. You end up working for an insurance company as an underwriter. Useless degrees. I'm kidding. That's a joke. We'll cut that out.
He was dead serious.
I won't remember to edit that.
We're not editing shit. Sips tea.
No, I wanted to be an English major. Also still work at an insurance company, so that was more about me than anyone. But she was saying that she felt like the idea behind making it one continuous sentence was just like a literary device to make it feel like war, which just feels like one long, depressing, horrible episode, like one horrible, long, never-ending nightmare. And that's kind of what the book feels like once it really gets going, is this like never-ending, terrible situation. Really, really good. Definitely not, I wouldn't say like a 5-star read for me. I'm kind of shying away from, I guess, star ratings, because I feel like my opinion doesn't fucking matter to people, which is fine. Like, or not that it doesn't matter, but it shouldn't matter to people. So like whether I rated something 5 stars or not should have no bearing on what someone else rates it. So I'm hesitant to like give out a star rating, but It's definitely not the best book I've ever read, but it was fucking great. And then, oh, brother, dude, let me tell you, let me fucking tell you, Larry McMurtry is that man, dude. He's him. He's him, dude. There's just nothing. There's nothing that he does that's fucking lame, dude. It's just so fun. This story, this is The Last Picture Show by Larry McMurtry. It's like 250 pages, 246 pages. Small town, nothing else to do in a small town but try to fuck. That's that's the gist, dude. It's just like two teenage boys. It's mainly one teenage boy, but you know how in Lonesome Dove he does that like point of view switching where he doesn't even give you like a lead up to it. Like it's just one character is in a scene and then it's all of a sudden from their point of view. He does that quite a lot in this book. And so you get the points of views or the points of view for a lot of different characters. But the main character is, you know, just like a teenage boy living in this town. I think it's supposed to be in like the late 60s. I mean, this was published in 1966. It might take place earlier than that. But it's just about him and his friends and the girls that they like. And it's teenage boys are horny. Girls are kind of mean and mistreated, and high school sucks. And sometimes you got to fuck the football coach's wife. Like it's, it's
Holy
so,
shit. That took a turn.
dude, it takes so many turns. It's so strange.
I thought this was like just another like teenage drama, and he was like, and then he's banging the
dude,
fucking coach's wife in the 50-yard line, and you're like, holy shit.
He is clapping coach's wife's cheeks, and then just
Does he get to
her.
start still? Like,
This is after high school.
Okay.
Stops,
I thought
he stops playing sports just to go and fuck this dude's wife, bro. It's awful. But I mean, there's nothing else to, like, I think really what it is that it's the futility of living in a small town to actually like put it into perspective of what the story is really about. I can make jokes all day long. But I think that there is this like powerlessness that you feel as someone from a small town. I know that you are kind of near a larger metropolitan area. I don't know that you grew up in a larger metropolitan area. I know we've discussed it before.
I'm like a weird combination of both. So like I grew up in like I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, but then I also grew up like a big part of my like teenage years and like some of my like elementary school years was in a rural part of like southeastern Ohio. So it's like I have a touch of like understanding of what it's like living in a small town and having the pressures and the boredom of living in a small town where like all that's there is a Walmart. But then I'm also from like one of the bigger cities in Ohio where there's like everything to do. So they both have their like pluses and minuses of like ways to get in trouble, which are totally different.
Yeah, I think I was fortunate to have grown up in that same kind of middle space where you're in a small town and you're able to get into like the small town hijinks, but the larger towns are close enough that if you want to go and do stupid shit, you can. It's kind of the same story for these kids. But really, I think, again, there's this like futility and there's this hopelessness that comes with being in a small town, especially at the time that this story takes place, where there's not a lot of education about sex. There's not a lot of opportunity outside of being a roughneck. There's not a lot of opportunity outside of like, you know, working in the oil fields. And then for women, there's not a lot of opportunity other than just trying to be someone's wife. And so it feels like you really don't have anything else to do. There's really no way to rebel. And so you just find ways to get in trouble. Yeah, you just find the coach's wife. But it was a really interesting take on a coming of age story. A lot of coming of age stories that I have read, things like Looking for Alaska or A Separate Peace, those are two that really stuck with me. But, you know, like Exit Here, or The Perks of Being a Wallflower, or even like 13 Reasons Why, which I don't even know if that's necessarily a coming of age story as much as it's just about being young and awful shit. But there were just there were a lot of stories that I read that felt hopeful at the end. It felt like the major theme was that the idea of growing up is this big insurmountable thing where you feel like you're powerless and you feel like you don't really have control over your own destiny, and then you find out that you do, and that the only thing you have is control over your destiny and yourself and the choices that you make. Whereas this book felt so much more feudal. It felt like these things just kept happening and everything was bad and nothing was getting good. And at the end, I felt so bad for the character. Like, I felt so bad for him.
You keep reading all these
It's rough,
sad ass like life is life
dude.
in books. Like go read like you need something funny. Like go to comedy show or something. You're
Dude,
just
to be fair, this
you're
was
reading
really
books about
funny, dude.
you're reading books about like turning dirt into more dirt and the villain is life and shit. Like what are we doing? What's going on right now?
Dude, I can't help. It's what I'm gravitating towards, man. Like, life is lifing right now, and so I think that, like, we don't got to talk about it. But, like, I think that there's just there's just a part of me that wants some commiseration, or to read stories of like characters' lives that are worse than mine. Um, like, I think, okay, so I'll say this, like, I do this thing, and I know that it's awful. But like, I have a buddy that I grew up with, and he his family always had a lot more money than mine. He never got told no. He was the kid who, like, had new shoes every week, and was like, bought new skateboards all the time, even though he couldn't fucking do a kickflip, and just like all of these things that,
Who can't do a kickflip? I mean, I
dude, I
can't,
don't know.
but if I didn't have a skateboard, so
Dude, I'll be honest, I could probably still, I think I still have like a bag of tricks that I could pull out if you gave me like an hour on a board. That's neither here nor there. But he was just like all of the things that I felt like were stable in life when we were growing up. And I, over the years, have watched that person not really do anything with themselves and not really like go anywhere with their life. And so I drive by his house anytime I'm in my hometown. Anytime I'm in my hometown.
loser.
No, dude, no, not at all. The reasons are twofold. I think one day, because it's his childhood home, he still lives in his childhood bedroom. In his childhood home, we're 33. Like, and so
That's
it's
life
really,
right there. Life is
dude,
life for that guy.
dude, the life is the villain. And he was an incredibly smart person. He was an incredibly capable person. I don't know what, like, where the disconnect was, but again, the reason is twofold. It's, I have this deep, deep desire to drive by and never see his car there, and just know, like, even if he's like at work or something, I can tell myself that he has moved out, he's got his own place, and he's very successful and he's doing really well. The other reason is that sometimes his car is there, and I'm like, well, it could always be worse.
Could always be that fucking guy living.
I could always be, I could always be that guy. I could always be the person that I thought was significantly better than me. And so,
shout out to that guy. Hopefully, he watches this.
dude, shout out to that guy. You can do better for yourself. You fucking know it, Cody. Get your shit together.
Oh, name dropping,
dude. That's I want nothing but the best for that guy. But that is what I look for in books a lot of the time, is a reminder that things could be worse, or hope that things could get better.
Yeah, I'm more of a hope guy. Like it's kind of like how I look for in endings. Like that's why, like, a lot of times it's why I strive for. Like I want the good guys to win in the end of most of my books. And I'm kind of almost rooting for the day when I find a book that goes completely off the rails, and it's like, no, they all die. Everybody, fucking, no one wins, or like, dude, the good guys like lose. And so if you guys have a book like that, that's good. Let me know, because I'm kind of looking for that ending, because it's almost uncommon that like the bad guys win in the end,
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, because I do that. I look for hope in books a lot of times, if that makes sense at all.
I think it makes a ton of sense. Like I find that it is, again, it's a twofold reason. It's I want to either find something to look at and say, wow, it could be so much worse, or I can read a book and look for that hope, and like I can really pour my desire for a better outcome for myself into the desire for a better outcome for these characters, and then get to see that come to fruition. I think that that's a really beautiful thing. I would love a book like what you said, though, like a book where the fucking, like, the bad guys win and you're just like, well, fuck. Like I think that would be so fun. I'll write it, like that's how badly I want a book like that, is that I would just love a story where everything seems to be going right and then they're just like, well, nope. Dude, what if Dungeon Crawler Carl ends like that? What if at the end of Dungeon Crawler Carl, the Borant Corporation is just like, next season's gonna be great, and then Carl and Donut are just dead.
Dude, I kind of thought that that's how Empire of the Vampire was going to end. I really thought
Brother,
that it was going to be that way, and it did not go that way.
Spoilers for Empire of the Vampire series. If you haven't finished the series, probably skip ahead about 5 minutes, because dude, I I have a friend who is reading the last book right now. Also Amber, Amber with the mini books. She was like messaging me as she was reading it, because I made that video and I had to eat crow because it ended pretty well, but I was like, fuck this. I've got a buddy right now who's just like, again, spoilers for anyone who didn't hear the first warning. He's just like, I just don't know what's going to happen. And I keep telling him exactly what's going to happen. I'm like, oh, dude, everything's going to be totally fine. All the people that you thought were dead are totally fine. Everything you thought that was bad that happened is not really something that happened, and everything's going to be good. And everybody, all the cool stuff you want and the good stuff you want out of the story is going to happen in the end. And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I can't wait for him to finish it and be like, you fucking spoiled it for me. And I'll be like, yeah, but you didn't believe me. So it's fine.
Dude, I really thought, like, since we're doing a mini spoiler here, like
Yeah.
that it was a lie fucking blew my head off.
I'm still conflicted about that. I'm still conflicted, dude. Cause like, I don't know where the lie begins. Like, where does the lie begin and where does the lie end? And like, what was true and what was not true? Can I still think that all of it was cool as fuck? Like knowing now that some of it just
Yeah,
never happened.
yeah. Like, but that's what makes that so good of a trick that he pulled off. Because you're like, what was like now? Like your own imagination can pull in and out of it. You know?
Yeah, you're right. I just, oh man, I really wanted that ending. That was the ending that I wanted. Because we've discussed it, dude. Like, the reason I wasn't stoked on it was because it wasn't the ending that I had written in my brain. The ending that I wanted was that everything falls apart and Gabe dies, but there's like a small sliver of hope at the end. And so for all of them to be fine, I was like, fuck, like, give me something to be sad about. Jesus.
Yeah, dude, I really like as I was reading it was like, ooh, I don't know how this is going. Like, and then it kind of came out of like I was like, whew, okay, like I got my chill ending, and
Yeah.
I was fucking nervous, like for real nervous, like a big chunk of that book, especially because we were reading it at the same time, and you were like a
Yeah.
touch ahead of me, and you were like and I was like,
Yeah, dude. We were like, because you were like finishing it as we went, because I finished it on the way to the signing, and you finished it on the way to the signing. And so I just got there like a little before you did.
yeah, you was like probably like 2 or 3 chapters ahead of me,
Yeah.
like as it was going, and you're like, dude, this is fucking crazy, and like, and then you're like, I can't wait for you to see
Dude, I was
what this.
I'm almost positive that like I called, like we got on the phone after it was revealed that like it was all a fucking lie, and I was just like, motherfucker, dude. Like, oh man, it was so fun. It was such a fun, I think that like the reason that I can still have love and appreciation for that ending, even if it wasn't the one that I wanted, is because I had so much fun. Just the roller coaster of emotion that I was put through was, oh god, it was so fucking good.
Dude, we might have to cut part of this out. Can you hear my? Is my dog coming through for you
No,
at all? I didn't know
no.
if he was coming through, so we might have to cut that part of me asking you that. But I was just curious. I can't tell if he was coming through or not. But it was like
Hold
making
on.
me
This
nervous.
is 25 minutes and 20 seconds. So just remind me at the end.
Yeah, we might. I mean, if we, because you can kind of pull it in and look to see, and we'll
Yeah.
see if it pops through or not. Then we'll kind of know. But then we may cut all the spoiler part completely out.
No, dude, fuck it, man. Spoiler talks, dude. That's what we're doing.
So, what do you plan on reading? Like, do you have any goals for the rest of the month? Because I'm
Yes.
such a mood reader that I'm still like trying to decide what I want to read. I have some some options, but I'm not quite sure.
I force myself into specific books by using my Hoopla borrows and my Audible credits. So like I like to do my immersive reading. I like to supplement my reading at work with audiobooks, and then when I get home, I'll just throw the headphones in and do an immersive read. So to make sure that I read something, I usually will like use a borrow or a credit. Um, and right now, I am listening to Theo of Golden. Heather, if you're watching this, my bad. Dude, it's a little slow for me. I got to a point where I was really enjoying it, and then it just kind of like, I don't want to say it fell off a cliff, but I just haven't been motivated to pick it up today, at least. I was enjoying it quite a bit last night, and then I just found myself just not wanting to turn the page. But that and then Wild Dark Shore are the two that I'm most like. I, they're like the highest on my list of priorities.
Because I'm such a mood reader, I don't really have a priority, but I've been thinking about doing Leather and Lark. A big part of me is wanting to do that. Um, and then I'm also like, sometimes I'm just torn because then I'll just see a cover or something that just speaks to me. So like, part of me wants to go back and try to get into Robin Hobb. Like, there's also some Sun Eater that I've been thinking about because I need to finish, or the Stormlight Archives. But those are big books, and like Leather and Lark isn't that big of a book to where I can kind of get through it a little bit quicker, if that makes sense.
Leather and
Can
Lark. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, because like getting into Sanderson, I'm going to be there for a while. Like if I'm
Mm-hmm.
reading a Sanderson book, that'll probably be the only book I finish for the rest of the month because like they're just so big. But I might be able to finish um Leather and Lark, and what's the third one is Sparrow and Scythe. Yeah,
Scythe and Sparrow.
Scythe.
Yeah,
Um, I could probably get those through the month, like get those done this month, and be
dude.
completely finished with that series. And also that vampire book he was talking about has been speaking to me a lot. Like that's kind of how I am, dude. Something will hit me, and I'm just like, ooh, like
At you know, at the
I got you in a quandary now. You don't even know where to go.
I was gonna say at the mention of the Lesser Dead, I kind of want to say, fucking read the Lesser Dead, dude. And I'm Benjamin Weaver's at least I'd say like a top 10 fan. But dude, Leather and Lark's incredibly fun. It's very funny. I love the dynamic between the two characters. I think that the buy-in is pretty heavy. I think that it's it's one of those books that there's a suspension of disbelief that comes with any sort of fictional book regardless. And that one, it's like the trope is like forced marriage, and I just fucking hate like the idea that someone was like, well, I guess we got to get married. Like, I think there are so many better options before you just fucking end up fake marrying someone. So that was a tough buy-in for me, but the story's fun, and I had so much fun reading it. And it also is like, you read pretty quickly. And then
Usually,
yeah, if you do an audiobook, it's only like a 7-hour listen at the speed that we listen to audiobooks at.
What do you listen at?
I am between, depending on the type of book, I am between a 1.95 and a 2.3.
So I am I am between a 2.3 and a 2.5.
That makes sense.
depending on the book. Because sometimes certain narrators kind of have a little bit of faster cadence, or the book kind of
Yeah.
has like a faster. Also depending on what's going on, like what I'm doing. Um, but man, I tell you, if you ever go back to like just what says like normal,
Oh, it
it's
sucks.
it's it's sounds like this to me. I'm like, I don't know how, like, it's crazy
I
because
used to
people.
listen to it like that.
So did I, dude. I didn't even realize you could change the speed for like 10 books. And my sister's like, hey, you know
Dude,
you could change the speed? I'm like, this changed everything for me. Like,
dude, I remember when people started, or when I started seeing, I'm sure that the argument has predated me seeing it, but I remember seeing people talk about audiobook speeds, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Audiobook speeds. And I finally realized that little 1x in the corner could
same.
be changed. And I was like, oh shit. I will say I did go 275 on Pucking Around by Emily Rath because I think that there are certain books that, and correct me if you don't feel this same way, or if you like don't share this sentiment, but there are certain books that throughout the listening experience you can just raise it, because it feels like once you get to that like 2.15 or 2.2 or 2.3, and then it just starts to feel slower, you can raise it up because
Yeah.
it feels like you catch
Yeah.
up to
I
it.
tried to explain because like guys at work will like ask me like what I'm listening to or like what's going on. And I'll like play some of like, how do you understand what the fuck they're saying? And I'm like, it's kind of like you're saying, like you kind of get accustomed to it. So then like the 2.3 doesn't sound fast to me anymore. Like I feel like I'm speaking at 2.3 speed, like
Yeah.
on the, so there's that. Now, if you go up to 3 or some shit like that, that's like a different language. It's like, yeah, I don't know how people, I know, and I know some people that do that, like 2.93 plus, and you're like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy work. I
Dude,
can't do it.
I love listening to, like, in romance books when you get past a certain speed and people laugh and it's just like, like it's
Dude,
exactly what it sounds
you
like.
know what's a really dope ass trick though?
What's up?
Is doing a reread to a book you've already done at a much faster pace because you kind of know what's happening and you can kind of get that same gist. Like I've done it before to actually, because I had a friend at work, I had a guy at work, and I got him to read Joe Abercrombie book 1. Was it before they? Which one is that again?
The blade itself, dude.
The Blade itself, yeah, the Blade itself. And I was like, you know what? I'll do it too. So then I was like, oh man, I could kick this in the ass. I read it in like 2 days. It was like it
In
was.
speeding by, dude.
Oh, dude, it was like, you ever seen that guy? It's like just flipping
Yeah.
through the book. That's how it felt. Like,
Oh man, what is it? I'm the fastest writer in the world and he's the fastest reader in the world. Have you ever seen that video?
yeah,
Oh my god, dude, it's so fucking fun. What a good time. Yeah, I can't do, I actually haven't ever tried to redo an audiobook, um or redo a book with the audiobook. I feel like that would definitely be a fun time to, just because I know the story. I'm telling you, oh man, I might start Dungeon Crawler Carl over.
I would if you're in like, because clearly some of the shit you've been reading, like you need like a true villain that's not just like cancer.
Jesus Christ.
Like you need something that's like it's like beatable. you know,
Cancer is beatable, dude. There's
not
cures
all the time.
now. There's cures for cancer, Jeff.
Not all the time. How many
Dude,
people die of cancer a year? A lot.
you're right.
So
You got a point, dude. Oh my god.
I'm just
I
saying,
meant like starting the whole series over, but dude, yeah.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant dungeon, like DCC 8.
Dude, I do need to start over DCC 8, but I think that if I could just, because I have all the audiobooks, I have all of them still on Audible.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if I could just commit to all the whole series over again, just starting at book 1 and pushing all the way through book 8, I feel like it would be a much more enjoyable experience because it's been months since I read the last one.
I've I've never really. There's not a whole lot of books that I've actually like reread a lot. Like I've reread Harry Potter a lot. I've reread Faithful and the Fallen 3 times. Um, as far as like rereads, that's pretty much it. And like I said, before they hang, like that's pretty much it when it comes to like rereads for me. I don't usually do that. Has there been a lot? Have you reread a lot of shit?
I have reread quite a few books in my life. I did it a lot when I was younger. I would just kind of like latch onto a book, like for instance, like Looking for Alaska by John Green.
Yeah, you talk about that a lot.
Dude, I've read that book probably a good like 20 some odd times.
Is it like worn out? Like is your like copy of it just like beat up?
I don't even have my original copy.
It's just dust now. You've read it so many times.
I think I've had like 3 copies of that book, 3 or 4 copies of that book.
Do you just keep giving them away? Like, what do you do with them?
Yeah, I give them away a lot.
I never got one.
Dude, I like to give books away that are really fun or something that I really enjoy. I'll like give someone my copy and then I can just buy a new copy. Or a lot of the time, I just don't expect people to give me my copy back. But Looking for Alaska, I reread The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I've read Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. I read that like 3 times when I was younger because I thought that it made me cool. I read The Catcher in the Rye twice. I've read the Hunger Games series, I think 2 or 3 times. The original trilogy, not like the newer book. I haven't read any of the newer books, and I should have. I've reread Harry Potter quite a bit. A lot of the series that I read when I was younger are things that I've read over. But as an adult, I have not reread any of the books that I have already read. And I know that there are books that I will reread, but I also think that there are just some books that, like, as I read them, the stuff on my shelf will just get pared down. Like, if I don't think I'll reread a book, I'll just get rid of it.
You know, I forgot too, The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. I read that twice.
Oh, God, yeah. I read that twice. Same.
Dude, that's such a popular series that I also feel is like slept on in a weird way. Like it's crazy popular. Like everybody has like read it, but like no one talks about it. Like I feel like it doesn't get like credit it deserves in a way. At least I'd feel that way. Because it's like a borderline top 10 fantasy for me. Like fantasy series
good,
for me.
Because
it's so good. And people give it shit for kind of no reason.
Well, it's because he was so young when he wrote it. I think it's easy to like point a finger. But
they're
I mean,
like,
it's the same
he
thing
followed
with, like,
the hero's journey. How dare he? Like every other fucking fantasy series ever.
It's like Throne of Glass. You know, like people talk shit about Throne of Glass. I've talked shit about Throne of Glass, but it was a 16-year-old who wrote that book, or a 17-year-old, however old she was when she started the series. You can't judge it by the first book. You judge it by all of it.
He was 15 when he started that, and I think he was 16 when it got published.
Fucking shout out Paolini, dude.
Dude, got a movie. Like,
and
bad one,
honestly,
but
entertaining.
Dude, that's the thing that's annoying, is if you hadn't read the books, you'll enjoy that movie. If you've read the books, you're gonna be like, this is dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy work. And I think he kind of knows it too, because I know they're supposed to be doing a Disney adaptation to it that he's like involved in. So
yeah,
I'm personally excited for that.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm excited for that because of what they did with Percy Jackson.
Are you an Avatar: The Last Airbender guy?
I am a fan of the series. I did not like the Netflix adaptation.
Did you see the movie coming out?
Yeah, the animated movie, where they're all like
adults.
Older. Yeah,
I'm pretty stoked about that. Like, I will be sitting down with popcorn, like sitting at the house, like watching that. I'm sad they didn't make it a movie, like a movie theater movie. I would have went to that, but
they should have.
Yeah, they fucked up.
I saw a lot of leaks a couple of months ago for that.
I refused to watch them.
I didn't. I'm like, refuse.
I'm not watching. I want to be ooh and on, like in my like while it's happening.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen a single leak.
That's actually really.
I almost got caught once. I was like,
just really quick, dude.
Yeah.
I
Earth. I was like,
definitely will.
no.
I'll definitely watch it. I'll definitely watch it. I've got some friends who are really, really big fans of it. Um,
Yeah, I loved that show when I was younger, and
I didn't watch it when I was younger.
you missed up.
I didn't watch it. I watched it as an adult, and I've seen it quite a few times as an adult.
Are you a big anime guy? Because I know you read
Uh,
manga and stuff like that,
I don't really
and
read manga.
comic books. It's kind of
Yeah, I
like
read comics.
manga in short form, right?
Well, yeah, I think like I wouldn't not read manga. I've read manga. I used to watch anime when I was younger, but like the stuff that came on Toonami, that kind of stuff. So like
Classic.
Cowboy Bebop, like Big O, Gundam Wing, G Gundam, all anything Gundam. Throw me in a big robot suit and I'm in that shit. But like Inuyasha, Rurouni Kenshin, those kind of shows were things that I really, really enjoyed. And then when Naruto started to kind of like rear its head, that's kind of when I started to fall out of it. And then I know shows like Bleach were starting to come on, and then I just didn't watch them. I've seen a couple of anime as I've gotten older, but it's just not something that I was super that I gravitated towards a lot.
So you're not like an Attack on Titans guy at all, then, huh? Like any
I
of
have
that
not
shit.
watched any of it. No, sorry, man.
What? So, kind of going into the comics, because you've talked about comics a lot, like, and
Uh-huh.
you're kind of a big comic guy. What would be like if you're going to like? I know this is kind of like a loaded question because everyone's kind of different. Like, what would be some of your top like comics that people should get? Like, if you're thinking about getting into comics, like, what's an easy comic to get into, if that makes sense?
So I think that a lot of the time when people think about comics, they think of like Marvel and DC. They think of the
Yeah,
big two.
that's what I
Um,
think of.
yeah,
But
exactly.
I'm not a comic guy, so like, I'm
And
thinking
I
of like
think that
Wolverine and Batman and shit. You know?
yeah. And the problem is with that, there is so much history and so much of a backlog of stuff that you have to read. I recommend like creator owned comics, like in Image Comics, I think have a lot of really cool self contained stories that are in limited runs. And that's where I would start. I would start with like smaller creator owned comics or finished runs that you can access that are really easy and accessible, and you don't have to know a ton of information before. So, anything Jonathan Hickman Marvel, so like the Jonathan Hickman Fantastic Four, the Jonathan Hickman like Avengers run. Am I stupid? Is it his run? Um, but yeah, Jonathan Hickman, Fantastic Four, leading into like Secret Wars and stuff, I think is really, really cool and really accessible. And I think anything New 52. I know a lot of people like don't like the New 52 for DC, but like anything New 52, most specifically like the Scott Snyder Batman run, I think that a lot of the stuff that happened with Rebirth was really, really cool for DC. None of this stuff makes any sense to people who don't like comics, and to people who really, really like comics, they're probably like, wow, that guy's a fucking idiot. But that's the stuff that I like. But if I'm recommending something outside of the big two to people, um, what I would recommend would be East of West by Jonathan Hickman. It's a fully complete story. It's this alternative world, alternate history America where the Civil War never ended and the entire world is split into different factions, and the four horsemen of the apocalypse are real and they roam the earth. Death falls in love with somebody, and the other people in the apocalypse, the other horsemen, are like, yeah, let's kill that person. And then he is reincarnated, comes back to life, and goes on a revenge tour. It's a beautiful story about life and love and being a parent, and it's just so, so good. Art's by Nick Dragotta. It's just fucking phenomenal. Anything by Rick Remender is incredible. All of his stories are pretty self-contained. I recommended this to Rachel earlier. I think Deadly Class is the best story I've ever read in my entire life, hands down. Oh my god, dude. I'll run out of breath talking about it. It's basically about this kid who like gets picked up to go to a fucking ninja school, like to be a school or to go to a school. It's this homeless kid, and he gets picked up to be a part of an assassin's school, like this underground school for assassins where they train kids of like mobsters and bad people to be assassins. And at first, it's this like really wacky world that is just super adult and super violent and super bloody and super gory. And then it very quickly becomes this story of like how you keep your head on your shoulders as a kid in a world that is very clearly trying to tear you down. And like how beautiful it is to find a group of people who care about you, and then the mistakes that you make that kind of, tear you away from that group of people, and trying to find your way back into a sense of belonging, all under the umbrella of this wacky premise of these like 13-year-old kids going out to kill world leaders. And it's just so good. It's so, so good. So, like, anything Rick Remender, most specifically Deadly Class or Low. I think Low by Rick Remender is great. Something is Killing the Children by James Tinian. It is
It's
a
a
really,
good
really
name.
fun story. Dude, basically, when a kid thinks too hard about a monster, the monster becomes real and only the kid can see it. And it just like kills a bunch of shit and it's crazy. But there's this group of people called the House of Slaughter, and they can also see the monsters. And so they go and kill them. And it's
It's a
about this girl that,
really good fucking premise.
brother,
That's
it's the,
that's a dope idea.
I've told you to read it and you were like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to read a comic book. Like, it's just not my thing. I don't know why.
I think it is your
I'm
thing.
a hater.
You just don't think it's your thing. But Something is Killing the Children. Um, Anything by Scott Snyder. God Country by Donny Cates, which is by Scott Snyder. East of West by Jonathan Hickman. Gideon Falls, I think, is really, really good too. I can't remember who wrote that.
So, when's the last time you read a comic?
I recently read The Last Days of American Crime by Rick Remender, and that was about a month ago.
So you find some comic book time in your like rotation of books?
Yeah, I just don't like. Nobody gives a shit about comics on Book Talk, so
Really?
I've tried to include them a
There's
couple
not a
of
space.
times.
You don't think there's like a good space for it, or like, is it kind of like one of those things where you kind of have to dedicate so much time and effort into it that it become its own page in a way?
I think that there's just not enough crossover. Like I think Nick in the Full Chub Book Club, he is a comic guy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he would probably have much better recommendations from the big two for people, uh, other than what I had. But
Well, that's a cool kind of a cool thought, like a good way of doing it, because like you said, it's overwhelming. Like comics are in a way overwhelming because like you feel like this tidal wave of, I mean, fucking Superman's been out since what, like the 30s or some crazy shit,
Yeah,
like you're like, yeah, how the fuck, like where do you start? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, so like as a person, like for me that would be somewhat interested in getting into comics, sometimes you don't know where to begin because
yeah.
there's so much time, like it's hard to know. Like,
Dude, I definitely get that. I think that there's just such a backlog of stuff. I think Marvel does a really, really good job of like essentially restarting stuff. Like they had like the Ultimates universe, and then, like I said, like the Jonathan Hickman run for a lot. They let Jonathan Hickman just do whatever the fuck he wanted to do with the Marvel universe. I didn't read a whole lot of stuff before that, so I can't really speak to Marvel. I was much more of a DC person. But there's just this like backlog of stuff that is really hard to try to overcome, and it feels like like you said, it's this giant wave that would come crashing down on you if you wanted to like read like 1930s Superman all the way up. There are a lot of like really good lists and people who are far more educated on comics, and I read the stuff that I liked and the stuff that I thought was cool. I was not like a completionist at all, so I'm probably not the best person to point you in the right
well,
direction.
I knew it is like a passion of yours, like comic books, because we've
Yeah,
had so many conversations that it's something you enjoy. It's like me in sports. Like I'm a fucking sports nut. It's unhealthy, like how obsessed I am with sports. Everybody has their own things, and that's the kind of cool thing about this kind of shit. It's the cool thing about these long form conversations that we get to have is people only get to see us from like Instagram or TikTok, and we're only talking about books, and we can have conversations where we can kind of bleed in to some of our other passions here and there. I mean, we're
yeah.
gonna usually try to stick to like, to me, I don't think comics is such a big dive off of, because you're
No,
still reading. And that's kind of why because so many people read it. It's a very big thing. Um, and I think they're cool. Like I kind of fuck with you about it a little bit, but it's just something I never got into. Like, because I feel like also a lot of times, like, did you have friends growing up that read comics, or was it just like you got into comics and it was like your own thing?
Oh, dude, I couldn't afford comics when I was growing up. Comics were a fairly new hobby for me. When I was, they were like a later in life hobby. So I've loved superheroes my whole life, like Batman, the Justice League,
Who's your
Teen
favorite
Titans.
superhero?
My favorite superhero of all time is the Flash.
The Flash, really?
Wally West Flash, personally. I think he's really cool. I love Barry Allen, but like I think Wally West had much cooler feats. Um, that's neither here nor there. But they did him dirty in Rebirth. They did him dirty in what was it, like Heroes in Crisis or some shit like that. It was really stupid. Anyway, I love the Flash. I actually have the Flash tattoo. And then I really love the Green Lanterns.
Green
John
Lantern's
Stewart.
dope.
John Stewart, Green Lantern. Um,
I was always a Batman guy. I liked Batman growing up.
Dude, Batman's a badass. And then in
Like
Marvel, I
the
think,
those '90s cartoons, like I've for the longest time, and I've eventually will. I want to get like a leg sleeve of like just like that '90s Batman,
you should.
like him standing on that building with the lightning behind him. That
You
shit's
should.
dope.
It's so sick, dude. So that was my first like entrance into it, was like the '90s show, like
Hmm.
old school X-Men '90s show, old school Spider-Man, the old school Fantastic Four, and Iron Man for Marvel. Those were the shows that I really enjoyed. And then like the Dini verse, like the Paul Dini verse, like Batman, the animated adventures of Batman and Robin, the Superman show, and then going into like the Justice League, the Teen Titans, stuff like that that came on Cartoon Network.
Did you
That
ever
was my
get
shit.
into Batman Beyond?
Oh my god, dude, Terry McGinnis is that motherfucker, bro. Like, I thought Batman Beyond was the coolest shit imaginable.
Dude,
Like,
so speaking of Batman, this is a pretty good tie-in back into books in a way. So Will Wright is doing his own animated series
yeah,
about his book, about his
Cradle,
Cradle
right?
series,
Yeah,
yeah. And he actually, one of the artists, one of the I guess it'd be considered artists or animators for the Batman, like they did on HBO, the cartoon, the reached out to him and said, "Hey, I'd love to make this into an animation." So he's actually working with one of the artists from Batman from the HBO series they did. Like I guess HBO did a series, an
yeah,
animated series recently or not that long ago, or maybe it was a while ago. I don't know, but I know he worked on Batman. I think that's kind of dope.
that's cool as fuck. I would love to see that. I know that you sent me a video of like the like mock up of what it was supposed to be at one point. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, he has like an extremely long form, like almost an entire movie. It's like 2 hours long on YouTube that you can watch for free, and it's like with voices and everything, and it's just not like fully cuttered in and shit. I
Yeah,
think it's so cool. Like me and my, she's 6 now. Me and my youngest daughter, like we sat and watched like a big chunk of it. She was like obsessed with it.
dude, I bet Ellie would like that. Dude, Ellie likes such cool shit. It makes me so happy. So I like she's down with fucking anything cool. If I'm like this is sick, she's down with it. So I feel like
Dude,
that would be a cool thing to watch.
yeah, you should try to see if she'd be into it. It's on YouTube.
She loves Avatar. So
Like
time
the
back
Last
into Avatar.
Airbender.
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
Dude, sounds funny because my daughter is obsessed with the other Avatar, like the blue
The
alien
blue.
Avatar,
Yeah.
and that the third one came out, like the fire one, and it's on Disney right now. And she's like, "Ooh, let's watch it." And I was like, "All right." And I went to go put it on. It's like 3.5 hours long. I'm like, this weekend, like
Yeah.
it's like 3 hours and 20 minutes long. Like,
We'll break this up into episodes.
yeah,
Like
not
that's
not on a Tuesday. Like this is kind of that's a lot. Like,
yeah, that is a lot, dude. That's a commitment for a Tuesday.
yeah, especially with a 6 year old because they're gonna give up.
Oh, 100%.
They're giving up.
Dude,
That's
we're gonna go see Moana on Sunday, I
oh,
think.
she's stoked too. Yeah, she's like the other day I was like, a commercial for it popped up, and I was like, Lee, come look. And she comes in, she's like, I seen this already, and like walked away. I'm like, fuck, sorry.
Dang, dude. That's hateful.
Yeah, dude, just rude.
Dude. Oh my god, man. I'm excited. What speaking of excited, trying to pull this back into books, trying to pull this back into a territory where we can be productive for the last 5 minutes of this thing. What is something that you are looking forward to for this year? I know I asked you last time like what you were planning to read. You said you didn't have any ideas. I was wondering, have you thought any more about it other than
Nope.
like the Wolves of War?
Wolves of War. No, it's in a way it's actually trying to finish off some things. So like I really want to finish off the Brandon Sanderson, the Stormlight Archive.
Where are you at on that?
I have 2 books left, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, I have 2 books left in that series, and I'll be done. So roughly like 75 hours worth of books. I want to finish. There's so much, dude. Christopher Rocchio's. Have you got into that yet?
Brother, I am just torn. I want to so bad, but I just don't know if it's finished though. So I don't know why I wouldn't.
Do you know what is another really big commitment that I am actively scared to get into? Is the Wheel of Time.
Oh, dude, I'll never.
It's 15 books that are all like 800-page books,
Not
and
doing
I
it.
really want to read it,
Not
but
doing it.
that's like a year,
Dude,
like.
what on earth, like that truly is like I read like 50 books a year. Okay. That is at least over a quarter of the books that I would read in a year. So that's a quarter of the year.
Massive books too. Like
Yeah.
If they were like 400, 300-page books, I wouldn't bat an eye. I really wouldn't. But like they're legitimately like 600-page books, 700-page books. I think some of them are a bit heftier than that.
I'll tell you what's putting me off of them.
It scares me a bit.
Brandon Sanderson finished the series.
Dude, he finishes books though, man. He ends books like
know.
nobody's business.
I know, but he also starts them like nobody's business either, man. Fuck his starts. Like the way his books start, dude, I'll fucking die on this hill that Brandon Sanderson needs a better editor. Like so he needs somebody who's not just trying to fucking blow his dick. Like he needs somebody who's not trying to blow smoke up his ass.
How much of his work have you read?
Enough.
Like what series have you got into though?
So I started Mistborn. I got like 2 chapters in and I was like, meh. I'll restart it at some point. I'm just not really in the mood for YA magical fiction just yet.
We can rage bait here a little bit because I think Mistborn was good, but I think it is a tad overrated.
I listened to 2 chapters and was like, I'm okay.
I liked it. I finished all 3, but
I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's a great
good.
series.
It really is good.
And I'm sure that like the teenagers of the world who love YA fiction will love it too. I am you said we're rage baiting. I was just going with it.
I mean, it's not really rage bait because like to me, rage bait is like when you're saying something you don't really believe is true. I do believe Mistborn is a tad overrated, but I do think it's good. Like if that makes sense.
I don't believe that it's YA fiction. That's why I was saying it was rage bait. Like
isn't it considered kind of young adult though?
I think it should be reclassified as YA fiction. But I could be wrong. But I also think that there's like a strong case to be made that the Stormlight Archive should be reclassified to an abridged version that has 300 pages less each book. Just
how far did you get into that series?
So I did The Way of Kings, and then I did Words of Radiance, and then I sold the rest of the books on Pango.
So you didn't fuck with them at all?
No, I loved them. That's the problem, dude. I loved them. I was like, dude, these are so good. but it
Dude,
took so long to get there that
word
I just won't.
Words of Radiance, that ending was
Dude, Words
fucking
of Radiance
special.
fucking smacked, dude. Words of
Dude,
Radiance smacked
it
so hard. It was so good.
dude, when he was like,
Bro.
where is your honor? And his honor's dead, but I'll see what I can do, is one of the hardest lines in the book, in any book I've ever read. I was
Bro.
like, I
The
remember like
fucking
when you read a line in a book and you remember where you were and what was going around you at that time, that's how you know like that's a special moment in a book. Like I always get this idea and I get this image of an author like writing a hard ass line like that, like honor's dead, but he was like,
and then
ooh,
oh
he was
shit.
like, they ain't ready for this shit. Like you just know it. Like they're like, that was a fucking bar right there.
Yeah. That shit was fucking flames.
Dude, I remember, speaking of a good line, I remember messaging an author and he was in a fight. There was a fight sequence in a book, right? And if you read this, you guys will probably know what I'm talking about. But this guy had powers to control and deal with steel and iron, right? And he was in a fight with the guy, and the guy didn't know that he could feel iron. And he was in the dark, and he was like fighting an assassin. And he said he thinks that the steel is his, but like an unfaithful lover, it whispers to me in the night. And I was like, dude, that is a fucking line. Like, I remember like stopping and messaging the author, like, dude, you had to be like, you had to be like, ooh,
just fucking rock hard, dude. As
dude,
soon as you, dude, I
it
would
got
love,
me.
dude, I would love to be that cool. I would
I'll never
love
be
to be
that
that
cool.
cool.
That's why I
Never
have
in
a
my
big ass
life.
beard. Like, that's all I got.
So I have a big ass beard, dude. Oh man, that was fun. So what? All right. What's your next read?
I don't know, man. I'm like, because you're in the middle of a read already, right?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of Theo of Golden right now.
So you jump straight in to something. I don't know. Like, part of me really wants to do that vampire book you were talking about, but part of me also wants to
Do
get
it.
like to do the Weavers, like Leather and Lark, vampires fighting like toddlers in an alley. Sounds cool. like,
I'm telling you,
like it
it's
sounds sick.
dude, it's a fun time. It's
And
definitely
it's gonna be and it looked like a pretty fast read. Like it didn't look like it was that
very
massive
quick.
of a read.
It's a very quick read, and if you have it on your Hoopla, it's only like a 7 hour listen. It's very short.
I'll knock that down to like 4.
Yeah, it's super quick. I think I could be wrong. I think it was a 9 hour listen on one time speed, so you could definitely knock that down.
Yeah, I do. You know what else? Like, I kind of want to find some more like really good urban fantasy. Like, there's some more out like hidden gems out there that I need to like get into, but it.
I'll tell you this. Oh wow, this lighting makes me look like I got raccoon eyes. I'll tell you this. When you finish the Bryn Weaver series, uh, when you finish,
It's the Lesser Dead, right?
yeah, The Lesser Dead by Christopher Buehlman,
Yeah, 9 hours and 40 minutes, so 10 hours. So for me,
it'd be like 4.
be like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah,
Easy peasy, dude. You can finish that before
dude,
the end of the day
I'll do
tomorrow.
that tomorrow. I'll do that before our next podcast. I'll have it done today.
Dude,
For
hell
bed.
yeah.
No, I got to work at like 5 in the morning. That's a
I was
lie.
gonna say, yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But speaking of getting to bed, speaking of being ready for work in the morning, I think we can call it.
Yeah, this is a good ending. I feel like this is a good number 2. But what like we're made some changes. I feel like with this episode, we're doing
Yeah.
some things slightly different. We heard some feedback from the people, and we're using that to try to make this a better product.
Mhm.
We've seemed pretty well received for episode 1. So hopefully we can kind of continue that momentum in episode 2. We've got a lot of people asking to be on, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
we'll have some guests.
I was actually surprised at how many people wanted to be on this thing. Like,
dude, I don't think that they're ready.
Yeah, I don't think they are either. I'm like, hey, these guys are fucking special. Like, and not in a good way.
Dude, in the best way.
So it's episode 2. Are we going to count like every episode? Like, this is episode 7,000.
I think we should call them chapters.
Chapters? That's actually kind of cool. Chapter 2. But
chapter
then it's
2.
Then we'll be like a unabridged Stephen King book, chapter 79, chapter fucking 4,000.
Dude, if we get to chapter 4,000, that's actually pretty sick.
That's a very successful podcast.
That's a very
actually,
or a very unsuccessful long-term just time sink.
Dude, if we hit 100 episodes or 100 chapters, that'd be pretty cool. I'd be pretty happy with that. I'd be like, I was actually surprised how well episode 1 did. Like, it did better than I thought it was going to do.
So, I think it can only get better from here, you know?
Yeah.
And the way that it gets better really is for people to, you know, comment on this video. Hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube.
Make sure you hit that notification bell, as all the
hit
cool
the notification
kids.
Bell.
Yeah, so you get the ding when we pop up.
That was a good one, dude. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you got to hit the bell.
Dude, hit the bell.
So now we can officially cross swords, or do we uncross them at the end? Is that how this works?
Dude, I think it would be good for people to think that while we're talking, they're just crossed, and so at the end we uncross them.
Yeah, sheave the swords. Till next time, we'll hit them on the whetstone. Make sure they're sharp for everybody.
All right.
You gonna pull out your sword? This was like your moment.
I was gonna pull out a condom, but
oh, wow, we are getting banned.
All right. All right. Bye, guys.
See you guys.